Good evening, Unity on the Bay. Happy Monday night. Glad you're here for another adventure in shelf discovery. Always look forward to these experiences with you. This is an interactive program, and the only way that I know that you're here is if you post something in the comments. So let me know you're here, and I can say hello, and we can give a few moments for people to join us, and then get into the next portion of Neville Goddard's work on feeling is the secret. Gita, love you, my dear. Hope you're doing well in the midst of this insanity that we're experiencing on the planet right now. Nancy, I'm so glad you're here. I want to say something because I said it last week, but I'll say it again. And that is that you may recall that before the Christmas holidays, you gave me this incredible book, Feeling is the Secret. And hi, Christina. Love you and grateful that you're here. And Nancy, I took this with me on the plane. I didn't have time to check to see if it was on my bookshelf. Hi, Linda. So glad you're here. Hey, Wendy. Love and blessings to you and Seth. At any rate, I just didn't have time to see, Nancy, if I had this on my bookshelf. So I just threw it in my briefcase before I got on the plane to go to Kansas City for Christmas. And wow, I read it and I thought, I've never read this book before because it was just striking me in such a new and different way. So I read it cover to cover twice, once going to Kansas City and another time coming back. Cover to cover is not much for this little book, but it's very potent. Then, Nancy, I got to tell you, I came home and I found out I did have the book on my bookshelf. And it had been heavily highlighted and dog-eared. And it's just been many years since I read it. And you know how it is with great literature. You can read it and feel like you've never read it before. But anyway, Nancy, I really want to thank you, as I did last week, for gifting me this because it was very timely. And it's a phenomenal book. I just had forgotten how wonderful it is, and it has slipped back to the back of the bookshelf. And now it is first and foremost. In fact, Nancy, we're spending 3 weeks on it, last week, tonight, and next Monday night. So much appreciation to you. And thanks to everybody who's here tonight. Hi, Aaron. Good to have you with us tonight. And it was wonderful to see you yesterday. And I'm just grateful you're here. Let me know you're here by posting something in the chat. It's the only way I know who's with us. And then keep those posts coming because this is an interactive program and we have a great subject tonight. So let's start moving in the direction of it. What program is this? Oh, Jason, thank you. This is Shelf Discovery. You should know because you named it. Every Monday night, 6 p.m. Facebook. Hi, Dale. Love you, my friend. What a phenomenal musical day we had yesterday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could say thank you every week till like forever. And it was just wonderful. We're so fortunate to have you as part of our team at Unity on the Bay. Great Sunday yesterday. So tonight we're talking about, Nancy, sorry I missed last week, late doctor appointment, but I'm so pleased that the book strikes a chord. I have to view the saved version of that last week. Yeah, it was a fun week last week. And Dale, I'm glad you had fun. And wow, you guys are active tonight. And glad that Gita and Jason are making a great connection tonight as well. So feeling is the secret. Last week, we talked about the first portion of this, which was spiritual law and its operation. Tonight, we're going to talk about a subject that should be very relevant to all of us, and that is sleep. So I'll just open by sharing what Goddard says at the very beginning of this piece of the book. Hi, Carmen. Nice to have you here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Monday. All right, here we go on sleep. He opens by saying this: sleep, the life that occupies 1/3 of our stay on earth, is the natural door into the subconscious. So it is with So it is with sleep that we are now concerned. The conscious, and this is just an incredible statement he makes. The conscious 2/3 of our life on earth is measured by the degree of attention we give sleep. Jason loves sleep. I thought it would be a popular topic, Jason, for everybody. Yes. Hi, Judy. Glad you're here. And where was I? Oh, I want to say this again. The conscious 2/3 of our life on earth is measured by the degree of attention we give sleep. Our understanding of and delight in what sleep has to bestow will cause us night after night to set out for it as though we were keeping an appointment with a lover. Now, just think about that for a moment. Keeping an appointment with a lover. If you're in love with somebody, you'll keep that appointment no matter what, and you'll be excited about it. You look forward to it, and you'll benefit from it. So he's really making a point here. And I think, we don't too often, I don't very often, nor do I hear others speak of the value of sleep on our spiritual journey. Of course, we know that it's physically important to us, vital to us. But did you ever really think of it as being a doorway into the subconscious mind? And that the way that we, or I should say, the preparation that we invest in our sleep activity can have a great deal to do with our spiritual growth, development, and awakening. And it also sets the tone in a very real way with, Gita says, sleep is when we connect with our inner being. Bingo, that's exactly what Goddard's going to tell us tonight. So sleep is also just a wonderful way to contemplate, or as Neville Goddard says, to program ourselves, you could say, for the kind of day we want to have when we wake up, the experience we want to have when we wake up. So Goddard goes on to say, the unconsciousness of sleep is the normal state of the subconscious because all things come from within yourself. You ever heard that before? I don't think we can hear it too often. All things come from within yourself, and your conception of yourself, your conception, which I would call your identity, how you identify yourself, determines that which comes. You should always feel the wish fulfilled before you drop off to sleep. You never draw out of the deep of yourself that which you want. You always draw that which you are. And you are that which you feel yourself to be, as well as that which you feel as true of others. Jason says, yes, definitely a doorway. I think it's the mind's way of recalibrating the subconscious and dealing with it. That's why we have those wild dreams. I totally agree, Jason. What is your perspective? I mean, Jason's obviously shared his, and so has Gita. What's your perspective on the value of sleep, aside from the fact that obviously we need it? Linda, yes, I delight in how my mind. Thank you so much for getting into this tonight, folks. Good evening, David. Glad you're here. Linda says, yes, I delight in how my mind works things out and presents some solutions. I most value the emotional tone of the dream and how the characters make me feel. Thank you, Linda. Dream states and dream interpretation and dream tracking are incredible experiences and gateways to knowing ourselves and improving our lives immensely. I think I've learned so much from dreams. Dale says, sleeping with intention. Yeah, because it's like, hey, I've lived a long day. I've done what I needed to do. I was productive as I could be. And now sleep is a non-productive time where I'm just going to shut down. And it's not so. Sleep is actually that time wherein your conscious and subconscious minds intermingle, as Goddard says, like two lovers. Gita says there are archangels who also communicate with us in dream state. I believe that wholeheartedly. Goddard says, and we'll see how much of this book we get into because there's a lot on sleep that he has to say. But Goddard says that actually sleep, and then next week we're going to talk about prayer. He says they're actually very similar in terms of how they impact the subconscious mind. Gita, thank you again. Yes, let's see. Gita, I always set an intention for my sleep and also offer appreciation to get into stronger connection with that energy. Amen. This is a wonderful practice. So sleep, what do you know? Something we all love to do. It's a spiritual practice. And now, once again, I've completely lost track of where I was. But that's okay, because this is rocking and rolling here, and I'm loving it. Christina, I know that sleeping will take our spirit to different level, so we can learn with our spiritual guides. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I'm going to let you guys facilitate this tonight, because you're doing so great, and there's so much great input here. Jason, there are schools of thought that say everything in our dream represents us, even if it appears as another person. Sound familiar? Yes, I'm totally on board with that. Whenever I have a dream, and I used to dream log, I don't do that anymore, but I might take it up again. That the first thing I would do after I would log the dream, what happened in the dream, was I would ask myself what aspects, what dimensions of this dream were how did they relate to me? How were they expressions of me? Because actually, you can do that even in your awake time. You know, you can look at people and situations and say, what is this saying about me? And find it within yourself. Gita, let's not forget, we get to astro travel during sleep. Woo! I didn't realize this would be as hot of a topic as it is, but I love it. Thanks. Keep on sharing your perspectives. I'd much rather actually, in all honesty, hear from you all, than I would Neville Goddard any day. It's the vortex communicating with us. Yeah, I think it is. You think, when you go to sleep, you sort of disarm yourself. Nancy, before I go to sleep, I think of the blessings I've enjoyed during the day, to close the day with gratitude, and think of what I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think that affects the tone for the following day. How we end today has, I believe, everything to do with how we will begin tomorrow. Jason, don't forget to wear your mask while astro traveling. Yeah, wear your astro mask. Hey, there's an idea, man. Maybe, Jason, we should end up with a new line of merchandise, astro masks for Unity on the Bay. All right, like I said, I've completely lost my place. My Lord, let's go here. Nellie. Oh, unfortunately, unfortunately, Nellie, I will need somebody to translate this, because I don't read Spanish. Yes, Jason's in favor of the astro mask. It could go viral in some way. It could become a big success. Let's put it on the to-do list, Jason, since there's nothing else on our to-do lists, right? All right. Now, before we go racing on here, I got to get back to this. The unconscious. Yes, you should always feel. Because all things come from within yourself. Your conception of yourself determines that which comes. You should always feel the wish fulfilled before you drop off to sleep. You never draw out of the deep of yourself, and we've already read that. To be realized, then, the wish must be resolved into the feeling of being, or having, or witnessing the state sought. So it's like, and we talk about this a lot, to feel, to get a hold of the feeling nature of any dream or aspiration or goal or objective, and to hold that, because experiencing the feeling of it actually sets the stage for it to become a reality. And what Goddard is going to say here in a few moments, if we get to it, is that when you are whatever feeling you are taking into sleep, if you take the wish fulfilled, whatever your wish is, if you take that feeling with you into sleep, then your subconscious mind will sort of imprint it. And he even talks about being able to receive instructions in this state as to how to bring the wish that you're desiring into manifestation. And don't let my preoccupation with Neville stand in the way of anything you want to share here tonight, folks, because as I said, I love it when you're contributing like this. So to be realized, then, the wish must be resolved into the feeling of being, or having, or witnessing the state sought. This is accomplished by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the feeling which comes in response to the question, how would I feel were my wish realized? How would I feel were my wish realized? is the feeling which should monopolize and immobilize your attention as you relax in sleep. It is the feeling, excuse me. You must be in the consciousness of being or having that which you want to be or have before you drop off to sleep. Once asleep, man has no freedom of choice. Interesting. His entire slumber is dominated by his last waking concept of self. It follows, therefore, that he should always assume the feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction before he retires in sleep. You know, as I was preparing this, Nellie, thank you. Thank you for taking my message into account. My name is Naveline La Fleuris. In fact, I would not give this gift to someone from environment or association. I was adopted from an orphanage, French. I lost my parents when I was 9 years old. God bless you, my dear. I lost my husband 3 years ago. Many blessings to you. And sadly, we have childless. I wouldn't donate to a member either. I don't trust associations because I believe that their leaders of associations get rich. Yes, I think we can all relate to that, Nellie, but I do appreciate your being with us tonight and your open-mindedness in tuning in and participating. He goes on to say, night after night, you should assume the feeling of being, having, and witnessing that which you seek to be, possess, and see manifested. Never go to sleep feeling discouraged or dissatisfied. I'll take a break here. I'm putting my finger on the book so I don't lose my place again. This reminds me of something Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, introduced. I do not remember the name of the pamphlet, and I don't know if it's still in print. But essentially what he said was every night before you go to sleep, review your day. And if there is anyone or anything that you need to forgive, forgive it before you put your head on the pillow to rest. In other words, just do an inventory of the day. If there's anything you need to let go of, if there's anything you need to release, if there's anything that you are holding a grudge about or a resentment or that you have felt hurt about, that's the prime moment for forgiveness and for release. So Gita says he is saying we can manifest in our dreams. I think what he's saying is, in fact, that tremendous amounts of progress can be made because the subconscious mind takes into account whatever the last waking thoughts of your day are. It's why it's so important how you go to sleep at night, I think, and how you wake up in the morning, because last data in and first data in is super important, because according to Goddard, the subconscious mind then can be about the business of working toward that which you have desired while you're sleeping. So sleep can be incredibly valuable in the accomplishment of our goals and the fulfillment of our dreams, even though it appears we are doing nothing. But I've always said, when it comes to spirituality, doing nothing is but an illusion, that sometimes doing nothing is the greatest thing we can do. There's time for action, of course, but there's also time to just be still. And to the world, it looks like nothing's happening, but actually everything's happening. Jason says a gratitude inventory is a good thing to do before bed too. Yeah, you don't just want to go through and analyze everything you have to let go of and forgive. You also want to take a moment, I believe, to really contemplate the things that you can be grateful for. You know, imagine, again, it's whatever we're taking into our state of sleep that is going to grow and multiply in its energy and in its ultimate manifestation. Doing nothing is doing something. Thank you, Gita. I agree. I know. Hi there, my dear. I'm glad you're back. Ho'oponopono is perfect for releasing. It certainly is. See if I can remember that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Ho'oponopono. Look it up. It's wonderful. And thank you for that input. I know. Nancy, my mom actualized an amazing life by devoutly applying the principles from this little book. You must feel as if you already have your heart's desire despite current appearances. That's how your reality is manifested. That's why Jesus told us not to judge by appearances. This is a moment where it doesn't matter how impossible the achievement of the dream or the goal may seem. Our experience of reality is being born out of our consciousness. And our consciousness exists on two levels, conscious and subconscious. And that's the stuff, that's the soil out of which the fruits in our lives are born. So tremendous possibility. And I believe, Nancy, that your mother did create an amazing life by dedicating herself to the practices. Again, Feeling is the Secret. Simple little book, but whoa, it's so full of gems. Let's see, Christina, I do my Ho'oponopono every night with my mala. It's amazing the results to my soul. Yes, because again, this is valuable space and time, our sleeping hours. And while we may not be actively involved, sometimes, we actually overproduce, I think, in life. And we don't take advantage of the leverage of much of what's available to us. Replying to Nancy, you are speaking Gita language. Hey, absolutely. Gita language. I love it. Gita-isms. Aaron, doing nothing is allowing the source to do through us. Release the outcome. Absolutely. We do our work in consciousness. And as my good friend Jim Rosemergy always says, manifestation is none of our business. It's not, if we do the work in consciousness, if you get a hold of the feeling of the fulfillment of the desire that you hold, that is the greatest work you can do. How it manifests, and don't we all know that from a human level, we love to get caught up in how will it happen? When will it happen? What are the steps? What we're talking about tonight is you plant the seeds in the subconscious mind before you go to sleep, and watch and behold how much work is done while you are doing virtually nothing except resting. The vibration is where you last left it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Gita. And I love that you articulate so well the teachings of the law of attraction, Abraham Hicks. Love it, Aaron. See, this is so cool. I love it when you do this. You're all coming together, and it doesn't really matter whether I'm talking or not. I love the exchange because I really believe this is where we grow. Much more so than when we are listening to one individual and believing that in some way they have an authority that is worth our attention. We all have that authority. So when we come together, it's what I used to love about our Monday night Mystical Minds meetings at Unity on the Bay back pre-pandemic, is that we'd come together and take a sentence or two out of a book sometimes, no more than that. And everybody would start contributing. And it was wonderful to see us learn and grow together by sharing our perspectives. So let's roll along here. Your subconscious, whose natural state is sleep, sees you as you believe yourself to be, and whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, the subconscious will faithfully embody your belief. Let's take a look at what Nancy says here. Here's a link about how Neville manifested a trip with many seemingly impossible roadblocks to leave Barbados. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, he has a lot of stories that really support his theories. He doesn't put them in this book, and he says at the beginning of the book that he's not going to put those stories in there. He's not going to put testimonials in there because he's not here to prove anything. He just wants to spell out the prescription or the formula that he has used as simply and as succinctly as possible. And he's done a tremendous job with it, I think. All right, we have just a few more minutes here. Let's see if I can find another nugget here. Well, of course, some of these are just statements that we've heard before but cannot hear too often. This one is, the world cannot change until you change your conception of it, as within, so without. He talks about this. You will rise believing that you are a free agent. that is every morning, not realizing that every action and event of the day is predetermined by your concept of self as you fell asleep. Your only freedom then is your freedom of reaction. You are free to choose how you feel and react to the day's drama, but the drama, the actions, the events, the circumstances of the day have already been determined. So it's the difference between being reactive and being proactive. So also the law of assumption. Yes, as we assume, so we become. Anyway, this has been really great tonight, my friends. I've just loved your interaction and appreciate so much all of you being here. Now, of course, I invite you to be a little more conscious. Some of you are already, perhaps more than others, conscious of your state of mind before you retire in the evening. Hey, Carlos, hello. The name of the book being discussed is Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Try to get it in the camera here so you can see it. You can pick this up on Amazon. It's a very brief, short book, but I tell you, to me, it's like potentially life-changing. Here we go, Carmen. In our sleep, we have no resistance, so it may be easier to accomplish our goals, work towards our goals. Absolutely. Release of resistance. Great topic. Thank you, Jason. I've enjoyed it immensely myself. What's happening next week? See, Jason, you're just a natural born marketer. Next week, we're going to talk about the third piece that Neville discusses, which is prayer. But I think you're going to get a really different understanding of prayer as we take a look at his words. It's probably the shortest chapter in the book, but it's loaded because from his perspective, prayer and sleep are both the two most effective ways to impact the subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind has everything to do, as he just said, it's actually charting out our day before we ever get there. So yes, release all resistance and all momentum of the day during sleep. So I know all of us are going to be more conscious tonight when we put our head on the pillow. And I'm glad that you enjoyed this evening. I certainly did. So have a wonderful night, my friends. Thanks again for being here and sleep tight. I love you all. God, delicious. I love Abraham's version and meaning of prayer. So excited for next week. I do too, Gita. I'm very committed to Abraham Hicks. Very committed. Been very beneficial in my life. Dreaming is good if we remember them or not. I also agree with that because we're processing. All right, everybody. Love you. Take care. I'll see you next week, 6 p.m. Shelf Discovery. Have a great, great night. Take care.